Welcome! In this video, we'll walk through Salesforce Files Connect, what it is, what it's used for, how to set it up, and its key limitations. Files Connect lets you link external file storage systems like SharePoint, OneDrive, Google Drive, or Box directly into Salesforce. Today, we'll use SharePoint as our example. The process is nearly identical for other providers. Start in Salesforce Setup. Search for Files Connect and open the Settings page. Enable the feature, leave everything else as default, and save. Next, create a permission set to grant users access to Files Connect. Click New, give it a name. Something like Files Connect Permissions works fine. And choose a license if required. Once created, navigate to System Permissions, click Edit, and enable the Files Connect Cloud permission. Save, then assign the permission set to the relevant users by clicking Manage Assignments. Now we'll configure Salesforce to securely communicate with SharePoint. In Setup, search for Auth Providers and click New. Select OpenID Connect as the provider type. This is the recommended method for SharePoint. Give it a name and enter a placeholder for the consumer key for now. For the authorization endpoint URL, use the standard Microsoft authorization URL, replacing the tenant ID segment with your own. You'll find this in the first part of your SharePoint URL. The token endpoint URL is the same for all users. Save, and note the callback URL Salesforce generates. You'll need it shortly. Head over to portal.azure.com and sign in with your Microsoft account. Search for App Registrations and create a new registration. Give it a descriptive name, like Salesforce SharePoint. Leave the defaults and click Register. Under Authentication, add a platform, select Web, and paste in the callback URL from Salesforce. Next, under API Permissions, add SharePoint Delegated Permissions. Select the following: All Sites, Full Control, Enterprise Resource, Write, My Files, Write, and Sites. Search all. These cover the access levels needed to avoid common errors. Finally, go to Certificates and Secrets. Create a new client secret, name it, set your preferred expiry, and copy the generated value immediately. Back in Salesforce, edit your auth provider and replace the consumer key and consumer secret placeholders with the application ID and client secret from Azure. Save. In Salesforce Setup, search for External Data Sources and create a new one. Name it, and for type, select Files Connect, Microsoft SharePoint Online. Enter your SharePoint site URL, set identity type to named principal, and select the authentication provider you just created. Make sure the Start Authentication Flow on Save checkbox is enabled, then save. You'll be redirected to Microsoft's login page. Sign in with your SharePoint account and accept the requested permissions. Once complete, you'll be returned to Salesforce. Click Validate and Sync. On the next screen, select your SharePoint data source and click Sync. This pulls in the structural metadata from SharePoint. It's a quick process. Now let's see it working. Navigate to any account record in Salesforce. In the Files-related list, click Add Files. Under Connected Sources, you'll now see your SharePoint data source listed. Click it to browse your SharePoint content. You can navigate folders or use the search bar. Select the files you want to associate and click Add. Importantly, no files are copied into Salesforce. They remain in SharePoint, so any edits made there are reflected here in real time. Connected files are labeled with their source name so you can distinguish them at a glance. For supported file types, you can preview files directly within Salesforce, open them in SharePoint Online, or download them locally. Two things worth noting. First, Files Connect is read and link only from within Salesforce. You cannot upload files from Salesforce directly to SharePoint. Second, file preview support varies by file type. It works reliably for most common formats, but complex file types may not render a preview. That's a complete walkthrough of Salesforce Files Connect. If you have any questions about the setup or functionality, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching.